We've had a couple of weeks off, guys. We were stateside. It was too hard to record over there. I'm sorry, but we're back. We're up and rocking again. Rogue Actions is back. A little bit of a hiatus. Some reason your customs over in the US thought it'd be a good idea to let me in. So that's on you guys, straight up. Thanks so much for joining us. Hit the thumbs up, all the fun stuff. React as appropriate. Let us know what you guys think about every single episode. We really, really appreciate it. But Ram, everything's back to normal, mate. We're all back where we belong. They let me back in down under again. Kangaroos are jumping. Life's pretty good back down here, mate. How are you, buddy? What's going on?
Oh, dude, I'm good. Vegas was Vegas was an experience.
Oh, man, my trip was amazing from go to woe. Like, every single day, this is amazing. And then the next day, this is even more amazing. Then the next day, this is even more amazing the day before. It just kept building and building. It was just an epic trip. It really, really was. So good to actually put a face to a name and realize how pale you actually are, which is really, really important to know for history. So, no, it was really, really good.
It was great getting to know how much of a Muppet you are.
Oh, you already knew that. Let's be honest. It's nothing new. I'm never going to feel the same way again after wearing Loki's chains. That'll do it all day long. Anyway, let's not talk about that. That's for another time. But, dude, it was an epic, epic trip. Hey, what was your highlight? Give us a highlight. Just one highlight. The thing that was just the most fun that you can remember.
Ah, man. I mean, there was so many of them, but I walking the strip.
Yeah.
I'd say walking the strip, seeing all of Las Vegas and just doing all the crazy stuff that we got to do, but getting it, being able to just walk with everybody and take pictures with everybody and see the sights with the whole group. That was phenomenal.
Yeah. It was hot.
I mean, in reality, it was just every day, man. Every day was just, I mean, we did so many cool stuff. We got to go and see the town. We got to, walk Fremont.
Yeah.
Had some damn good barbecue.
Oh,
I mean,
that was good. That was good.
I was just all sit back and have a drink and relax. It was a good time.
And just talk. And, give heaps to our boy Sweens, which was amazing. Anyway.
And I think what was crazy was just like, this was obviously for a lot of us our first time ever meeting these people.
Yeah. That was
the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time, we all knew each other.
Yeah. The familiarity was there. Absolutely.
Yeah. It was like, oh yeah, it's my first time ever meeting Wolf, but I've known him for years.
That's
it's
right.
First time ever meeting you, but I've known you for years. So it's like
yeah.
It wasn't awkward like it normally would be meeting somebody. It's like, oh well, this is time seeing a real person.
Yep. There was no awkwardness in any
awesome.
way, shape, or form. I agree. I think my favorite moment was when I took Hershey and TJ down the zip line down Fremont Street and listened to him scream like a little girl saying we're going to die. I'm sorry. That for me was a massive, massive highlight. I'm not going to play it here because we save it for the streams. But we play it on our live stream. If you want to see it, jump into there because it's worth it. Trust me, it is. It will. If that doesn't make you laugh, honestly, you have no sense of humor. Straight up, it's amazing. Anyway, let's move right along and let's get back to what we know and what we love. And of course, we're back to Galaxy Heroes. And a heck of a lot happened while we were away, which was great. We had a few slow news weeks leading up to the last few weeks, Ram, wasn't it? Like we finally got stuff kicking in while we're gone, and it all happens at once. Let's start off with the meme of the week first. Of course, dedicated to the man Mini that we obviously lost too soon. We play this, of course, every week in memory, and this one, of course, is thanks to Pills. For any collectors out there, there's a new collector set out. It's the Rogue One collector's set. Feel free to collect all 6 action figures: Cassian, Chin, Krennic, Chirrut, K2, and Baze. I couldn't help myself. It was a pretty funny one. So had to throw that one in there. So there's our meme this week for any of the collectors out there. They're pretty rare, though. They're pretty rare. Anyway.
That's dope. That's a dope meme.
I thought that was a really good one. Yeah, it was like...
That's a good laugh right there.
We need to use that one. Had to be done. All right, let's talk about it. And, of course, been a while since we had a new GL. I don't think anyone is surprised that our next GL is Leia. I think I've been calling this one for months. You will remember that, Ram. Not one person is surprised that Leia is hitting the tables in the next few months. And, certainly going to have, the Rebel GL that we all, probably are happy that we're getting, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. No one should be shocked by this. I think there was a couple people that were... Oh, with Captain Rex come out, they may go this way. Yeah, I think the community's been pretty on par with this for months and months and months after Jabba was like, okay, well, they said they're not going to do a counterpart, but if they did a counterpart, it's going to be Leia.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and it just makes sense. I think it's been a while since we obviously had a solid Leia in the game. It's an obvious fit. We got so many Hans in the game. We got so many Lukes in the game. It just makes sense to have a really strong Leia. Chewies, how many Chewies do you want? That's right. So yeah, certainly it just makes a lot of sense. It's an obvious fit. And I'm not disappointed by it at all. I think it's a worthy addition as a Galactic Legend. I don't think anyone disputes that. Honestly,
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's gonna be phenomenal for sure. I'm curious to see what she does for the rebel faction.
Absolutely. They gave us a bit of a
and who she breaks up too. That's gonna be the real kicker. Is she gonna break up CLS team?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's everybody's question.
Well, I mean, everyone's going to test it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of testing, of course. It looks like they're obviously trying to push away from that and give someone, guys like Akbar and things like that a bit of a home again. And I'm okay with that, honestly. Of course, Captain Rex is going to be viable in there, of course, because he's the new next best thing. I would love to see, and I would love to see, but I don't see it happening too much. I want to see, murder bears under GL Leia just do dumb stuff, like just stupid stuff, like some sort of, really badass anti-Empire synergy or something like that. Like, I think that would be really cool where if you just chuck murder bears in with Leia, not everything, but just a select, focused faction takedown. I just think that would be amazing. Very similar to Radis, of course, against Empire. There's that same anti-Empire synergy, right? Like it's gross when you use that team against them. So something like that with the murder bears. How would that not be amazing where they just have basically infinite turns and there's no way they can lose? That would be really, really cool, I think, anyway. But is there anything that you'd like to see that, that we may or may not get, Ram, in Leia's kit?
Well, I mean, so obviously we don't have the other two sets of characters, so we don't know who exactly is required for them. I feel like she might take Chupio, and if she does, I'd like to see C-3PO be used a little bit more with the Ewoks. If you're already going to break up a CLS team, C-3PO's got that real good synergy with the Ewoks, and with Princess Kanisa in there, along with Wicket, it might could be a new threat to be dealt.
Absolutely.
As far as her kit, though, I don't know. I don't know what I would really expect from her kit. Just I don't see her as a tank. Obviously, I see her as either a support or an attacker. And probably more towards the support. Honestly.
Okay, fair enough. What about her ultimate though? That's the interesting part, because the ultimate's the big part of the equation, isn't it? It's just going to be, hey, it's a glowing Leia, and then all of a sudden everyone just buffs up, or we're going to get some sort of really cool graphic. They've been really, really big on their kind of cutscene graphics lately. So I'm hoping for something special with Leia's one. I really am. I think it deserves something just you just go, wow, mind blown. I think
what I could see doing, and I don't know if they'll go this route, but what I could see is each GL has had a thematic ultimate to go into. Jabba has the Rancor, JML has his Force Ghost to his
transition,
astral sense or whatever. C obviously, and so with Leia, I think it'd be really good homage to have an ultimate that does kind of like Executrix with TIE fighters, but Ewoks.
Ooh, okay.
You just call in a whole swarm of Ewoks, and it stuns everybody and does massive damage to the whole team, and obviously it splits up the damage between all five, so you have less damage done for all five. But if there's one or two, you're going to do a lot more damage to those one or two. It'd be like a 20 hit thing, kind of like Executor or Executrix rather.
I like it.
Something along those lines. I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
No, that would be. I mean, so many possibilities. That's the beauty of it. I mean, this is something they've been working on for a long time. But yeah, certainly, I think that something out of the box would be absolutely magnificent. I feel anyway, which is great. But anyway, let us know in the comments below what you want from Leia. Big GL. I mean, a GL is not a small thing. It's a big part of this game, a massive cog you need to build. teams and counters around it, for it and against it. So, this is really going to be a big fundamental shift again in the strategy of players and across the board. So let us know what you guys think and what you think should be included. We'd love to see more from you with that one there,
now,
for sure.
Here's something, just a part on that. Here's something interesting.
Okay.
Is they went relatively light on relic levels for the first set of requirements. You have the two marquees at relic 7, and that was kind of a understanding. The two marquees, they want you to go in on them. That makes sense. But Wicket would have made the most sense to go up to relic 7, relic 8 if they were going to do something like that. But they kept in relic 3 of all things.
Wait for it.
I thought we were done with relic 3s, but we not only have 1, but we have 2.
Yeah, wait for it. They're not done yet, mate. The easier characters are going to be the easier characters, down the track. It's going to be like, guys like Baze and, stuff like that. Or not Baze, Chirrut. Not Chirrut, God's sake. What am I on about? Wedge and Biggs. Like, stuff like that's going to be needed high relic. Things like that, I feel, that, might need that power punch for Leia. Something along those lines could be interesting. The return of Chase could be fun.
Jedi Knight Luke and Han, I would expect to be in there.
Yeah, Han's going to be there, 100%. Probably all of them. Let's be honest. Why not? But I honestly think as well there's going to be some very, very non-used murder bears that are going to need some serious upgrading too at some point.
Scout.
I'm talking
or
Scout.
Tebow.
Or both. Yeah, I think they're absolutely pigeonholed to be a requirement down the track, absolutely, because there are characters that have been around forever and not a lot of people have invested a lot into them. A lot of people haven't even touched murder bears since, they unlocked C-3PO. Let's be honest. So
Gear 11, Gear 12 at most, yep.
Correct. So there's a good opportunity for people to use up some resources that they have or don't have, more importantly, unfortunately. Buff them up. So wait for this, watch this space, and we'll see what the requirements end up being. And we'll let you know what we think. But we're just throwing some obvious ideas out there right now. Speaking of murder bears, let's get after our last topic on this video, and then we're going to go to Rams, of course, straight afterwards. This is a two-parter, don't forget. So the other half's going to be on Rams. The link will be below. But yeah, murder bears are back, baby. As you said, Princess, is it Kanisa? Or Princess Nisa, whatever. Nisa, isn't it? Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Territory War. Okay, great. I understand we already have a GAC, Omicron with Chirpa. But I would have loved to certainly been a real mainstay GAC team. I think it'd get more use in that than Territory War, but we're just going to have to wait and see. The Poggle one's pretty cool these days, obviously, with the bugs in Territory War these days. Is it going to have the impact in Territory War that it probably needs to have? Because seriously, if you're putting an Omicron in a Territory War, it's got to be pretty badass. Like, it needs to be pretty OP, in my opinion, for people to invest in it, because they're still just so rare, Ram. Is it going to be something outstanding and just make a big difference or not?
I mean, so we have to assume that there will be an Ewok Datacron coming out, and when that does, 100%. I think absolutely for those 3-4 months, it's going to be pretty crazy and it's going to do some crazy stuff. But once that Datacron goes away, I don't see Ewoks unless we get another Ewok marquee. I don't see it doing a whole heck of a lot outside of it might take out some B+, A- tier teams, but I don't see it beating Gas, DR, GLs. I don't see that. So kind of a wasted Omicron for me.
Yeah, the problem is they can just be shut down. That's the issue, isn't it? They can just be shut down. That with
they've got a lot of Terminator manipulation, sure, but they just
but when the other team gets a turn,
shut them down.
Yeah, then they're cooked, and that's always been the complaint really with the Ewoks. Unfortunately, is they go a lot, and they go a lot, but the problem is that once the opponent takes a turn, you're pretty well stuffed. The team will just fall apart. Very similar, unfortunately, to bugs, but even worse. Than the Geos. If you shut down GBA, you're going to get them. But it's certainly going to be interesting. We know that there's a cron coming, 100%. Give it another cycle or two, probably 2 cycles, I reckon. Normally it's about 2 cycles after a release like that, some sort of a faction. Normally it's like around 8 months down the track. Realistically, they normally don't do them any sooner than that, from what I've seen so far, anyway. But we'll just have to Wait and see, but they will get badass. Make no mistake, but how long that will be, that is the question. But, hey, look, I'm happy about it. I love the Murder Bears. I reckon they're a great faction. And I think that, again, they've been, reasonably undervalued, I think, in the game. I think that they're really fun. It's rare to get some fun teams, isn't it, Ram, in this game these days? Everyone's just buried in, so much kit description. It's actually just good to just, watch one go, then the other one go, then the other one go, then the other one go, and just all at once, all in brawls. Like, it's really great. They're really, really fun to play. I wish I could use them more. Hopefully this will make a difference where I get to use them more instead of 4 times a month. That's what I'm hoping. But we'll just have to wait and see, certainly.
That's really the downside with the TW Omicron is you just don't get to use them as much as you would in a GAC. GAC you can, especially if it's worded, differently, like with Captain Rex. You have a GAC Omni that's works a certain way in 5v5 and then works a completely different way in 3v3.
Yeah.
And that gives you so much more use than a TW Omni, in my opinion. But
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of territory war, just quickly, this is an off topic because we didn't include this one in here, but of course we just finished a TW cycle where we've had 3 territory wars in a row not too long ago. Now, what's your thoughts on that, Ram? Is it too much? I think that it's probably too much. Unfortunately, just with the involvement and the planning and the execution, especially at our level, I think that 2 in a row is more than enough. I think the third is really, really tough on the officers to keep backing up, every few days to keep challenging. But am I overthinking it, Ram? Did you like the idea of 3 in a row, or you're back to 2? What do you think?
Oh no, absolutely go back to 2.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of 3s. Now, granted, we weren't really playing TW all that much because we were kind of preoccupied in Colorado and Vegas and whatnot. So me and Heinze didn't really have to worry about that, but at the same time, we were all still getting the pings in Discord, and the guild was moving, and they were pushing.
We were getting
we had a couple close ones. So
we're getting the messages from our leaders for sure. Like, we knew what was going on.
That's so much work. It's so much work to do, and for 3s, and you add what we have 4 TWs a month. You want to add on another 2? I just.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's rough.
Isn't it? It is.
Especially with the timing, and you have GAC, and then you push back TB, and it throws off TB dates, and you have people doing Reba mission on the weekend versus the weekday, or vice versa. It's just, it throws everything off, and I don't know if I like that.
I think they've had a reasonable kind of structure in place as far as the calendar. I think it's been pretty well settled. And obviously we know with all these new releases, they did it for a reason, because they had to release, certain characters, of course, at certain times because they weren't prepared earlier. So they had to throw their calendar out. And I understand everything's subject to change. We've talked about this a million times before, and we get all that. But I think that so far everyone's been quite accustomed to that set type of system and structure in place. So then to throw that out with the 3 territory wars, it caught a lot of people by surprise. It really did. It's like, hang on a minute, what? We got 3. No one has. We've never had 3 territory wars in a row, ever. Like, ever. So for a lot of people, that was just really, really confusing. But again, go back to 2 and get the system back in place. I think that that's certainly the most balanced approach at the moment, and everyone knows what's on when. I think that's the key when you've got guild participation. Everyone needs to know what's on when as easy as possible. Absolutely. So don't mess with the system. That's just my opinion. But anyway, we'll see what we think. Anyway, guys, let us know what you guys think. Plenty of topics there we talked about today. The other half is on Rams. We're not done yet. Don't forget, link will be in the description below. As soon as we upload it and we finish these, we'll get all that sorted. So let us know what you guys think. And we're going to do the other ones. We're going to talk about, of course, Malakos reveal, the Leviathan kit, and one hell of a ram raid. This one's going to be a ripper. You're not going to want to miss this one, guys. So this one's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. We'll be back again next week, back on track, back on Monday. Everything's situation normal. How are you? Bye, guys. Love ya.